Go ahead, man.
Dragon Stromberg says it's going to be epic up in here. I agree with that one. Hello, Sabrina. Good to be joined by you. The first question, that's question number 2. The first question is, what's the worst Stan Lee cameo in the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I hate you so much.
The worst one.
There is no such thing as a worst one.
They were not all equal, buddy.
They're
Come on, man. There was the Tony Stank one. There was the Ant-Man and the Wasp one. Well, the 60s were great, but now I'm paying for it. What's that? What was that about? That wasn't wise, clever.
I don't know. like you want me to say the worst Stan Lee cameo ever?
It's an oxymoron. Those two words don't correlate.
It doesn't make sense. Like I want to pull down my picture that I took with Stan Lee at Fan Expo Canada 20. I think that was 17.
Okay, I'll give you the cop out. He wants to ask, quick yes or no, was Cyclops right?
Yeah.
And you have like an hour and a half video where you got 2 people debating that such topics. Go check that out.
One of them actual lawyer from Texas. Mm-hmm. Where technically it was argued and conceded that he was wrong, but I still stand by the idea that Cyclops was right. Hey, what's up, Raven? Everybody's up in here. What's going on, everybody?
We're still up. We just recorded our podcast. We went an hour and a half.
We did.
I'm like, hey, why don't we just do that now since we're owls?
Hey, Tommy, you're still up?
Where is Justin Hammer?
What, in the MCU? Because in the comics, he's dead. In the MCU? Good question. Let's see. Justin Hammer, the last time we saw him was over there. I would say he's in prison. But he was taken to prison at the end of Iron Man 2.
So Iron Man 2 was in 2010.
Mm-hmm. So, go on.
No, he's really rich, and people who are really rich don't stay in prison long.
That is true. And thus, he probably got to hang out with the Mandarin. And the Mandarin was like, I have need for a useful idiot. And like they got together and he became like a lackey for the 10 Rings. And he's going to appear in freaking Shang-Chi's, movie and stuff.
Yes, stay tuned to the MCU. What did Spider-Man say at Civil War? Hey, everybody. Yep. Question number 3 is going to be, what material was Thanos' sword? I mean, it chopped off that vibranium shield.
That's true. I'm going to say that this was actually made from the Thanos copter itself. This is the actual propeller from the comic book version, which he had to go to Deadpool in order to get. So he went around and he was, checking out the Reality Stone, the Time Stone, and all these different things. And he was able to get his hands on and he sent it to his younger self. And it was like the actual comic book helicopter blade, which is the bane of Jim Starlin. I know that because he told me himself. and he took it and that's why it defies logic. So that's why it was able to defeat the shield.
I didn't realize it probably was an Easter egg to the helicopter making it rotate like that.
Oh, 100% was.
Jim Starlin had a cameo in the Endgame movie. That was cool.
Yeah, he did.
That probably might be my favorite.
Yeah, he did have a cameo in there. It was only like 3 words that he said, or 2 words, whatever. But yeah, he talked about there also. He's like, I hate that movie. Even though I was in it, I hate it because it makes the Thanos copter canon.
Were Wanda and Pietro mutants?
No, they weren't. Mm-hmm. But they will be now because now they've got the access to the mutant name.
I like that. I also want them to keep the whole she's a pretender thing. So even if they don't include them in the mutant culture, and maybe they will include them to be mutants and then exclude them from being mutants just so we can call her a pretender. I'm there. Anything Hickman that gets adapted is nice.
Oh yeah.
Do you think Justin Hammer is living out in an island? Okay. Genosha? Which island? What's the
He's in Jamaica with Tupac. He's trying to get his hands on the Wu-Tang album.
We got a question. Do you have Mandarin explained in a minute video?
I do not, but I guess I should.
Question number 5. What was Captain America's first kiss since defrosting?
In the comics?
No,
Oh no,
everything is MCU. So when
everything's yeah. I was just
they
thinking the title of this. Yeah.
they were on an escalator and he kissed Black Widow, and then she said in the car, "Hey, I feel like if you answer this question and you don't answer this question, I know the answer. But was that your first kiss back?"
Yeah. What did he say?
He just didn't answer the question. They went on somewhere else.
Mm.
He changed the topics real quickly. So was that his first kiss though? I want to say it's Captain America. Of course it wasn't.
I'm gonna say no, no. I think that not. It wasn't his first kiss. I think that maybe. Well, like a that kind of a kiss.
Any kiss.
I
No, a
want to
kiss.
say that he kissed Peggy Carter. You know what I'm saying? But like she was married to somebody else at the time. Technically, it was Captain America if you look at the the timeline and everything. But
Okay. That Steve Rogers, though, the one that just came out of the ice in 2012. That
yeah,
Steve Rogers.
yeah.
So who did he kiss since he came out of defrosting?
I'm
What
gonna
was his-
say Peggy Carter.
No. That can't make sense at all.
Why not?
Because
Winter Soldier?
in Winter Soldier, you mean Sharon Carter.
No, Peggy Carter, who's laying on her deathbed. I'm going to say that you said any kind of kiss.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So not a
I'm
romantic,
not,
no worries.
You're
So
right.
not a romantic kiss. He just said, like, you're my best girl. And I'm sure that when they parted, or when they met at least, whatever.
Yeah, that didn't make the movie. They're like, are the cameras done recording? Just kiss this one. I got you. That's a good theory, though. I like that one better than what I had to say. I was like, there was that cute waitress in 2012's Avengers movie, and she gave him eyes. You know, the Stan Lee cameo that got canceled?
He's trying to like cover the beard. I don't know how he did that. I can't cover mine.
Man, Tupac fans over there. Let's go to the next question. 6. Where would Killmonger put scars first? He's running out of room, the whole body. Would it go in his hands or feet?
I would probably say on his feet. It looks like he wants to keep it covered.
Feet. Did Wakanda bury Killmonger in the ocean with his ancestors because they knew death was better than bondage?
I'm pretty sure that Black Panther T'Challa would have done that personally.
That's a dark ocean trip. Which Avenger did the worst in school? I think it is. But
You said it's Peter Parker. Which Avenger did the worst in school? I'm gonna say it was probably. I want to say Tony Stark so bad, just because it's usually those smart kids who are just like they don't care, so like they burn their textbook or they
Okay.
do whatever but they still of course graduate because it's like, but they didn't care about school at the time because they already know all this work. So I kind of want to say that.
That's an interesting answer, and I will go with it. Adult Groot or teen Groot? You notice how I'm not asking baby Groot because he wins. Adult or teen?
I like adult Groot even over baby Groot. Baby Groot is cute as hell, but I like adult Groot. And like I'm a comics guy long before I'm an everything else guy. You know what I'm saying? So for me, Groot, he's a little baby again for like a couple seconds, and then all of a sudden, boop, he's just immediately grown again. So yeah.
Everyone's agreeing with the feet.
See?
Who will be the first Canadian hero introduced into the MCU?
Oh, be upset if it wasn't Wolverine, right?
That's what I said too, but Cryptid.
Maybe Deadpool.
That's exactly who he suggested.
Yeah, Cryptid. Yeah, of course, it's going to be Cryptid.
Super Deadpool fan. I think his thumbnail is Deadpool too, isn't it? Oh, so Sabrina's going to say Teen Groot all the way.
Okay. I am good at it.
And then she agrees with you with Deadpool. Did the Raptors still win the championship in 2019? Half the team was snapped.
I don't watch, and this is not MCU. What are you doing?
No, in the MCU in 2018, Thanos snapped his fingers, altering history the way we know it. Did the Raptors still win this title?
It's the MCU, man. Are there the Raptors? Are there other teams?
They're all 30. Yeah.
I guess.
You're like, whatever. Question 11. Which Disney Plus series are you least interested in?
One that I didn't look at. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Boy Meets Girl or Boy Meets World is my favorite one.
Question number 12. Hulk's CGI butt buddy. How long did you look?
I I think I watched that movie twice.
Only?
No, three times.
Oh.
The first time I watched it, I was in the theater and I was just like, oh no, you did not. The second time with my wife, and I'm like, hey, check it out. Cause yeah, that was we also went to see that movie because I went by myself the first time and I was like, you're gonna love this. So I took her to see it. And I was looking at her the whole time before it even showed up because I wanted to see her reaction. And she's just like, oh come on. But she kept on looking. I'm like, uh-huh. Uh-huh. The third time was actually with the kids, and now I want to see the kids' reaction. So like I saw it for a second, I went on, and yeah, sorry, I'm just not into green butts. Unless it's She-Hulk, maybe I'd have to see it to know. I'd have to see it to know. I have seen China as She-Hulk, not the
Now,
same.
the next question is, does Groot grow to look ancient, or does he stay adult level? And I think the way trees grow, they just get thicker and thicker. So yeah, he gets ancient. Sure.
With thick with two C's.
Thicker. Bret Hart will be in the MCU. I don't know. Who would we cast him as? I would cast him as one of the Guardians Ravengers, like Sylvester Stallone.
That's like an easy one, you know? Yeah. No. Make him a freaking Canadian. Like, make him a Mountie, you know, saying a RCMP. Have him actually, you know, there in the border, and Deadpool comes walking up. He's like, hey, boo. And he just looks at him. He's like, America's that way. Just go. I think that would be great.
Send him directions to Pittsburgh.
Treebird version of Groot would be awesome. Groot should get older. He should get older because we know that the original version of Groot was old. So, and he was huge.
Hulk is a lot sexier than Professor Hulk. Hey man, whatever floats your boat.
I'm the sexiest professor in the world.
Gargoyles, if I ever got Disney Plus. I used to love that show.
I
hear that there's a whole lot of people watching that show too, just like the X-Men animated series.
I have to show that to my kids because they're going to love it. I actually did a very cool thing. What's up, Sterling? How you doing, bro? I actually did not a theory. Like, you know, everybody always asks me, like, how would you, you know, do such and such story? And I come up with something on the fly, and people seem to like it for some reason. I actually did something with gargoyles also, and that was on the Discord. So if anybody wants to come and hang out on the Discord, I'm saying it's available. You're there
13.
also.
Yeah, I'm always there talking to people like Silver, who is one of the people who argued whether or not Cyclops was right.
That's right.
Question 13. Can a Skrull turn into a filing cabinet?
That's a good question. Skrulls, from the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Skrulls can change 25% of their size negotiable. They can shrink to 75% of their normal size or grow to 125% of the natural size, but they can turn into anything. Living or unliving. So yes, a Skrull should be able to turn into a filing cabinet, but only if it's full, not an empty filing cabinet.
Because it's got to fulfill that 75% quota.
Exactly.
Thank you, Kelly, for subscribing to the channel. Question 14. Will Sam and Bucky fight? Usually when heroes meet each other, they do.
Especially in Marvel. Yes, they 100%. I can almost guarantee. I never thought about it, but yeah, I can almost guarantee they will.
Would that be the beginning of the show, or will that be the conclusion of Falcon and Winter Soldier, or somewhere in the middle?
Probably somewhere. You know, they'll probably have two different fight scenes. They got what, 8 issues?
6.
Oh, he's an attorney now. Congratulations, Silver, man. Congratulations. He went from a lawyer to an actual attorney.
Right on.
All the congratulations in the world, brother.
All right, Thomas. Get in voice chat because we talk on voice chat all the time in Discord.
Oh, Thomas, that was you who sent me. Okay, I didn't ignore because I didn't know who you were. Send me another invite for the personal, private, you know, whatever for the Discord, and I'll accept it this time. Sorry, didn't realize it was you.
The weapon of choice: a sword, a gun, or an infinity gauntlet. Is that even a question? Infinity gauntlet. Yes, they will fight at some point. I hope they don't. So I want my answer to that question to be no, just because we see it too much. We just had Civil War. You're not going to top Civil War.
No, but you should have a fight. Like they have some kind of reason to mistrust each other. Sam has always been on the for the most part, the straight and narrow,
Yeah.
and Bucky used to be the Winter Soldier. They're gonna find a reason to fight. Sam's gonna say something stupid. He's gonna be like, "Mother, what?" And they're gonna go at it.
I want to see Hulk versus Wolverine more than I want to see that one. Question 15. Where is the Red Skull?
He's the thing, the soul gem thing.
Yeah, the question is because he gave away the soul gem. He's done guarding. Thanos took the soul gem. He, donated Gamora to the funds. And now what does Red Skull have to do?
Maybe he's in the soul gem now. I don't know. Like, does he get to come back?
But that's why I asked. I don't know what to say. I don't think he's on Vormir anymore. I don't know what his mode of transportation is, but I want to say that the Red Skull left and now he's like earthbound or something.
As a ghost?
As a ghost? No, he's alive. He's alive. I have no idea because we don't even know what happened to him, really. We don't know why the Tesseract teleported him to another planet.
Was he still there when Steve went back to put the
in
thing
the
back?
MCU, not the other altered 2014 branch timeline, the main universe.
Okay, my bad. I didn't know that was not called the MCU.
You wouldn't call it the MCU? What would you call it?
I would call it the MCU. When he went back through time
Yeah.
and he adjusted time, when he returned the gem, the stone, because the MCU,
Yeah.
who would he have returned it to?
The 2014 version, which isn't the same universe as the MCU. So Earth 199999 is the movies that we've all been watching, but in Endgame we visited other Earths from different universes.
We watched that in the MCU. So what did we watch in the MCU that wasn't in the MCU?
Part of Endgame took place in other universes. They weren't the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
So it's going to be a different universe in the MCU. The Marvel Cinematic Universe can have multiple universes.
I know what you're trying to say, and I'm trying to say, let's pretend I didn't use MCU. Let's pretend I used 199999. So
129s. But yeah, okay.
The Red Skull in that universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. So where is he now? That seems to me like it would be a cross-platform thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is right now.
We
He's probably hanging out. You know what?
What?
Here's the deal. He's the Red Skull, but he kind of became a ghost, right? So we're going to see him again in the Fantastic Four movie. He's going to be the Red Ghost, and he's going to have those three gorillas with him. You know what I'm saying? To go off and do the thing. That's my answer. And anybody who's an old school Fantastic Four fan right now, you're saying, oh, shoot, that would actually work. Because, yeah.
What will Hulk versus Thor would look like? And I'll re-add you, LOL. Hulk versus Thor. We got that in Ragnarok, right? I think Thor won that battle. Pretty sure Thor won it. And then they had to go and...
He should.
Yeah. The answer to number 15 is a smear somewhere on the bottom of old Cap's boot.
Heck yeah. Because America!
Of any weapon that you can think of, the weapon that I can think of, like the Infinity Gauntlet, the sword of it's still the Infinity Gauntlet because it can do anything.
Got you. Okay, Infinity Gauntlet, but without the stones. How about that? I'm going with a Green Lantern ring. That's what I'm doing. I'm going right up here, and I can't fit it on my middle finger because I'm freaking huge. But bang, I'll fit on my ring. My ring finger instead. In brightest day and darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight.
My sight, not my might.
Let those who worship darkness.
Evil's might beware the Green Lantern's light. That's how it goes, guys. It's exactly how it goes.
You got it, baby.
Should he be permanently dead like Black Widow? I don't think he sacrificed. I think once Thanos threw Gamora over, he was still there, wasn't he?
I think it's timeless because at the end of the day, like it transcends time as we can learn of it in continuity. Because when you think about it in a form of like time-space continuum, a continuum means that it's always. So just because he went in at 1942 or 44, whenever he would have actually went in, who was there guarding it before him? Did he relieve someone, or was he there the whole time?
That's
because you know what I'm saying? Like that's yeah.
I
Uh,
want to say yes to that question. There was someone, then that someone died, and that's why the Tesseract and its knowledge transported him over to Vormir to help out with the Soul Stone.
maybe he
Question?
defeated that person.
Yeah, maybe. Because I know Red Skull. As soon as he gets there, he's fighting,
Uh,
and then maybe he fused with him. Maybe it was like a ghost-like figure, and then
maybe he lost, and that's why he was stuck there. Oh,
yes, yes, that's what happens. Someone comes over. If you win, you win. But if you lose, then you just swapped places. It's like presidential terms. You get 4 years to be the person.
is that Harley Kiner? Is that what
Harley
you're?
Keener. Is that how you say his name? The kid from Iron Man 3. I believe his name was Harley Keener.
Oh, jeez, I saw that movie once and I hated it.
So
I hated that
what
movie.
what was he doing over at Endgame?
I know, right? Good question. Oh, did you freeze or did I freeze? Somebody froze.
Freeze.
Did you
I
freeze?
saw I saw a black screen for like a moment, but I've been fine. You can hear me fine?
Well, you froze for me.
Okay.
Oh, whatever. Okay, so who said? Because I thought you were writing Harley Kiner. I'm like, that's the bully from the Boy Meets World. So Harley Keener, whatever that little kid. I'm gonna say it was probably what's her name, Pepper.
Pepper.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. If they had 5 years, they probably talked about things like that.
Heck yeah.
Who had the best fake death in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And I'm looking at Loki. That's second one. That's Thor 2. We all thought
Yeah.
he died. Man, little did we know he was actually Odin the whole time.
Well, they showed it at the very end of that movie, so we knew it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess Loki also, because he really did fake his death a lot. You've got a plethora of choices to choose from.
We got Thor dying in the first film. We got Black Panther dying when Killmonger threw him over the top. A lot of fake deaths.
I guess.
Red Skull wasn't dead, though. He was transported. Yeah. Do you think Killmonger is still alive in the MCU? Nah, he's dead.
Yeah,
You numbered it
oh
17.
wow, I got confused because it said 17. I'm like, what? Yes, I believe he's dead. But if you guys read Jungle Adventures issue number 5 through I think it's 18, the original Killmonger story, Killmonger died, but he was also brought back, and he's actually been brought back from death at least twice. So I fully expect he's dead. I didn't have a problem when he died. I expect to see him come back at some point, and somebody's going to resurrect him. And I wouldn't be too terribly shocked if it was Doctor Doom.
Green Lantern.
What do you? What? Oh, yeah, you probably want to say Green Lantern, but I'm going to look at it a little bit differently. I got to go with the Jim Shooter answer. Captain America wins. That's Captain America's superpowers. He always wins. At the end of the day, like I would write it in a way where it's like, he's getting his butt kicked and he's like, oh, and he's trying really hard. He gets his shield taken from him, but he's still fighting because that's what he does. And at some point, all of a sudden, he gets chosen to be either a Green Lantern or a Blue Lantern.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to generate hope more than Captain America. Or a Green Lantern because of his willpower. That's how he wore the Nova Prime helmet. So, hey.
Nick Fury had the best death in Winter Soldier. I'll agree with that one.
Okay, that was actually a really good one.
Because I believed it, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's an old actor. Of course, we got to kill him off now because, he's a liability. What if something happens? We all know what... now, I would look back and anytime an old man dies, I'll say, we all know what happened with Carrie Fisher. It's better to get these guys out instead, so they don't screw you over with their real life deaths. God, they're so selfish.
Yeah, totally screw them over. Like, thank you for acknowledging
that. Look up lessons from the Great Depression. Okay, JT Gamer.
What lessons from the Great Depression? I don't know what that's in relation to.
We do. We just don't talk about that on YouTube because it demonetizes and it makes you not get recommended anymore when you mention it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Green Lantern, Captain America needs air. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. You just Put him in a bubble, go off to space. I don't care how
No,
much
no,
blue
no, no,
hope.
no, no, no. Wrong answer. You got to go with everybody's limitations too. Green Lanterns are not allowed to kill. If they even try, if they attempt to kill someone, or the ring thinks you're attempting to kill someone, the ring gets shut off. That happens. Cap beats his sorry ass in a
Okay.
heartbeat. I don't care which Green Lantern it is.
Okay, then he'll trap him in a bubble without having to kill him. You are trapped. Air is allowed to pass through this bubble, but you have been
Possibly,
defeated. I don't care how much
possibly.
vibranium you got.
Like I said, at some point, if they can cross over, all of a sudden, I'm thinking that the ring, whatever, like the Green Lantern wearer does something wrong, and suddenly the ring goes over to Cap because nobody's going to be more worthy of one of those rings than Cap.
Professor Bill, who's your favorite character?
Captain America.
Okay.
And at some point, he goes, "You know what?" And Thor's like, "What? If he needs you, it must be for a good reason." And now we're looking at worthy Cap Thor versus Green Lantern. Dude, mind you, Green Lantern is my fourth favorite. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, my fourth favorite character. I'm saying Cap wins.
Why isn't it John Stewart? No. I'm not quite clear on the powers of the Blue Lantern, but I've always felt more closely tied to hope than anything else.
It's the most powerful ring, but it has the most limitations. It only really works in the presence of a Green Lantern ring. But when it's next to a Green Lantern ring, it could take a dying sun or a dying star, same thing, and turn it back into a blue, meaning brand new sun. Aside from that, it can really only put up defense, which is very similar to what Captain America does.
Perfect fit. I'm looking forward to that crossover. Fox versus MCU. Which Quicksilver would win in a fight? Fox. Next question.
Yeah, the Fox one. That's easy.
The best music overall. So that means soundtrack. That means the score, themes. Which movie had the best music overall?
This was on my Facebook group page. Silva Surfer put this one down. The theme for John Williams's Superman, the Richard Donner Superman, was the most iconic, like that theme song. But as far as an entire album, an entire soundtrack, everything put together, the original Conan movie.
Oh, shit.
You're not going to beat that. You could try, but you will not. Even when you look at like Star Wars, more John Williams, it's like you've got the Imperial March, Vader's theme, and then the regular, New Hope theme. But when you're talking about overall, you can listen to every single song, every single jingle on there, and you're good for the Conan one. And everybody knows what's best in life.
Is Vision worthy?
No.
Why not? He lifted the hammer.
No. Yeah. MCU, sure. I want the Snyder cut. I want the Snyder cut of Avengers too.
I'm saying he's not really alive, so you put a hammer in an elevator.
Not an elevator, blah 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 blah.
Has Captain America used that phone, the flip phone? It's 2020 or it's 2018 at the time.
Probably would have skipped that.
Telemarketers exist. He probably got a phone call like, "Hey, we'd like to be interested in selling you window cleaning." And he has to hang up.
I would say that at one point he got asked to do he came back just in time to be asked to do a walk-on or whatever. It's like, you're a famous guy, Steve Rogers. Why, remember, you're a World War II hero. Will you be on the set of The Matrix? And he was like, sure, I'll try. And he tried to do an acting role and he did the flip phone. It's like, how do you do these things? They're like, no, forget, we can't have you. So they booted him off, but he did get to use a flip phone there.
Anybody else but me reading the Stan Lee runs of comics? I'm not currently reading that, but I know you had to have read Stan Lee's comics, right? You're so old enough.
Yes, 100%. In fact, I'm actually reading a bunch right now.
Oh. Undertaker versus Sting, who wins? You got to give it to the Undertaker. They're not letting the WCW guy win.
Yeah.
Unless you do a best of 3 or something. And then you ask, the best song was Avengers theme. Yeah. The best theme, better than the Superman Hans Zimmer, I would give to Avengers. We also associate the moments with the theme, so I'm there.
Those moments, dude, that original Richard Donner Superman. Because here's the thing about it: you could take.
Sorry, I said Hans Zimmer. My mistake. Richard Donner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Richard Donner did the movie. John Williams. When he did the theme for Superman, like you can have the dun, 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 dun. It's like happy, powerful, let's go, let's kick some butt. We
Mhm.
can also have the slow violin or the cello. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, and it's like, holy crap, and it like really builds up inside your heart. The Avengers theme is cool, and I get it if you're younger and that's your thing. It's cool because everybody comes from a different era. And I look at the Avengers theme, I'm like, it's about time, the MCU actually has a solid theme, or anybody from Marvel has a solid theme. But the Richard Donner Superman, that one back then, that was just holy crap. It could get you like your heart would swell with energy, and I never got that from the Avengers theme.
I got that from the Avengers theme, like when Thor arrived in Wakanda. I like Wakanda's theme, like every time you see the Black Panther, and like the people were chanting T'Challa in the middle of it. That's a cool one. That's second place. Captain America's.
So funny that when you just did the I'm like, oh, that sounds like the beginning to the Superman theme. But go on.
I guess they're all the same, honestly. There's the Captain America one.
That is a really good one.
It's a cool one. Captain Marvel's is all right.
You remember these better than me. I think you've watched these movies more than I have.
Probably. You said you only watched Ragnarok thrice. I watched it maybe 6 times.
And I've watched that. I think I've watched Winter Soldier the most because I'm absolutely in love with that movie. You can't go wrong with that movie. To me, that's like a grail of freaking movies. I loved that movie. But even Endgame, I've watched twice. You know what I'm saying? Although I've watched the Cap Worthy multiple times on YouTube, but for the most part, yeah, like I said, I'm a comic book guy. I love this, the stuff they're doing in the MCU, but for me, that's like, okay, take a break from awesomeness and go and see, second best awesomeness. I'm a comic book guy.
I agree with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That would have been my answer. Ragnarok had the immigrant song.
Yeah, from Led Zeppelin.
That worked.
Oh, hells yes. Especially since Led Zeppelin rarely ever puts their songs out for people to use.
Batman 1989. That wasn't Seal Kiss from a Rose, was it?
No, that was the third movie. The Danny Elfman Batman. That was Danny Elfman and Prince. Yeah, I actually put Prince back on the charts because nobody knew about Prince anymore. Nobody cared about Prince ever since Purple Rain. Batman, and he even had another movie after that, and nobody cared about it.
Silver wants to see Firefly in the DC universe. What's a Batman villain who we haven't seen yet?
Batman villain yet to be seen in live action. Would you want to see in the DC universe minus Firefly? Firefly could be fun. Yeah. I don't know, one that hasn't been used. Kite Man could be fun. Just, like, to me, that's the best part of Tom King's. I've never grown tired of Tom King's version of Kite Man. But real talk, I want to see the Mad Hatter. I want to see what they can do with the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, everyone lifts the hammer. 19 Batman soundtrack, Kiss by the Rose. We were just talking about that. La da 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 da. Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix. You are not okay. You lie in bed with Jean Grey. Did Black Panther cheated in the challenge with Killmonger by drinking the drink that got him powers? No, because Killmonger drank the drink too.
He also, in fact, he had it burned afterwards so that nobody else could. And it's a good thing that Nakia came by and she yoinked it and whatnot. So no, he didn't cheat.
He never yielded. And as you can see, I am not dead.
Yes.
Spider-Man theme song is so iconic. It's hard to beat. You're talking about the one from the cartoon in the 60s, I think. Or are you talking about the one that they use for the films?
Spider-Man.
Iconic.
Does whatever. My oldest son can play that in ukulele. I'm proud of him.
Hey. We heard it only one time in the MCU. It was at the beginning of Homecoming when they were doing the logo. But they actually have a Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home theme that's like exclusive to the films. That's new. Wasn't Firefly on Gotham? Yeah, but he said DCU, like the films. So, I'd like to see some. Well, we got a lot of questions. Gundry, he'd be fun, unless I forget a time where he shows up. Grundy works, but is he like a villain that you have the whole movie focused on? He's like a side villain, like
probably
a thug.
Not. Nah.
Batman soundtrack gets passed over because R. Kelly had a song on it too. R. Kelly cancels Seal. To hear more about cancel culture, listen to the Comic Book University podcast where we had
went
like
on
50
for
minutes
that
about
was.
Leslie Headland.
I would like. I think we both started to get heated. Do you think we'll see? Go ahead.
We will see any Netflix, ABC, Freeform, Hulu characters appear in the movies or a Disney Plus show? I'd like to believe they're all in the MCU. Well, they're not all in the MCU, but I could see them using the same actors.
No, we won't. Those are the Jeff Loeb ones.
Yes.
And after the Jeff Loeb and Kevin Feige thing, like Feige won, and he's not going to allow Jeff Loeb stuff to exist. Even Hellblazer, which is coming, not Hellblazer, Hellstrom, which is coming out soon. He's not going to allow that stuff to come in. The best that we'll see is the Netflix stuff, specifically Daredevil, but we're not going to see anybody else. That's not going to happen.
I like the Spider-Man trilogy music, and we heard it in the Spider-Man video game too. Damn, all versions of the Spider-Man theme song. Yeah. Last one before I get back to my questions, because you guys hijacked this thing with all of your engagement and all of your social interaction. God, guys, I'm trying to YouTube over here, and you're just making my channel better. Aerosmith's version of Spider-Man themed rocks. Never heard it. You?
I never heard it either, but I'm going to have to listen to it now. Jeez. Joe Perry rocking on there, Steven Tyler wailing. Hells yeah, I'll listen to that.
Who's the least trustful actor with spoilers?
That's obviously Tom Holland, man. Like they plant stuff on him just because they know he's going to have an oops moment.
Hey, he never streamed the first 20 minutes of a film on his phone. Mark Ruffalo watched Thor Ragnarok on Instagram Live. Hey, I'm at the premiere, guys. All right, bye. The movie's going to start. He did not click end. And they were buzzing him and texting him and saying, hey, you're streaming. And he's like, I'm not going to answer my phone in the movie because that's rude. Tom Holland never did that, but it is Tom Holland.
Yeah, it's
They pair him with Benedict Cumberbatch so he wouldn't reveal stuff. Which Olympic game would Wakanda lose at?
Oh, they would lose the bobsledding to Jamaica.
They'd just be like, you know what? They don't need us to be involved in this sport. They're good.
Jamaica forever.
Was Lady Syff at Endgame? Yeah, that final battle.
I know, that breaks my heart. I know her name. I can't remember her name right now. But she's epic. She's awesome. And yeah. I'd like to say that she was off doing something else. I don't know. Off-camera deaths, I don't agree with an off-camera death for her. Jamie Alexander, that's her name.
She didn't die though. She just wasn't on screen. In Thor Ragnarok, Hela didn't kill her, but she killed them Warriors 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I hope they bring her back, especially with the films right now, with their slots being all wishy-washy and being moved. Whatever she was busy with, hopefully she won't be busy with to do Thor, Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder, yeah. Because I think that'd be great to have that, I don't know, love triangle-ish. But if we're gonna have Beta Ray Bill in it anyway, then that's the love thing. Like she should be with Beta Ray Bill, my opinion.
Yeah, that'd work. Now I haven't seen Clone Wars season 7. I will.
Somebody did say that I should at least watch those last 4 episodes, though.
Sure. From everything I hear, and I'll watch everyone do reviews on it, including people like The Lonely Banter, and like, this show is crazy. I watched the Ahsoka versus Maul fight, a fan edited in the Duel of Fates theme as we watch them fight. It's very cool. Cloak and Dagger is so underrated, though. I want to see them in a movie. I want to see them too. They're useful people. Let's use the actors. And if you want to think that the show that we all watch them in is canon, fine. But just use the actors because we have a fan base of Daredevil, Cloak and Dagger. We have a fan base of Punisher. And it works. Like, you don't got to do an origin story anymore, Kevin Feige, and you're against that. Spoiler trader. Bobsledding. Oh, did you write in bobsledding before Professor Bill even said bobsledding? That's crazy. Skiing. Yeah, we're all going to the Winter Olympics, but they had those Jabari mountains, remember? Don't forget that. Cool runnings. Jamaica always wins. Directors confirmed her death. Did they? Well, no, wait. Their death or the snapping? Everyone died in the snap. So if they confirmed that, that's one thing.
Oh, mother fat heads. You know what? No. I don't want to hear. Honestly, I don't want to hear it. Extended scenes don't count. Deleted scenes don't count.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, and director's commentary, honestly, doesn't count. That's what's canon. Those things don't count. So if they say, oh, in my head canon, no, if you didn't put it in the movie, it wasn't in the movie. It didn't happen.
I saw a picture of Shuri that had her dusted away. That's promotional material. If they want to go ahead and in the new
Yeah.
Black Panther movie, they want to say the last 5 years, Shuri was the Black Panther. I'm not going to say, but they put out a picture of her in black and white indicating she was dead. I'm going to say, I go by what happens in the movie.
Exactly. That it's really what you got to do. And the best example of that I can think of is the even with trailers that doesn't count, but Revenge of the Sith. You know what I'm saying? They just go and look at the deleted scenes in there. It's like they don't match up with what actually happened and what they wanted to do also. So
Do you know who Bobby Morris is from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
yeah, she's Mockingbird.
Oh, right. I knew that. Oh, we'll answer the question. Then
Yeah, what was the question?
Where is she? Well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't the MCU. That's the Jeff Loeb universe. That's the other thing that isn't what Kevin Feige is in charge of. So he just doesn't care about it.
Yeah. But she was supposed to leave with that one guy that she was with who's not part of the comic books, and they were going to do their own TV show. I forget what it's supposed to be called offhand. It's like right there, but it's not right here. But that was too Italian to me. But yeah, anyway, they were going to go off and do their own thing, and then it wound up not being picked up. So yeah, we never even saw the pilot.
And should they decide to include something from the TV universe into their films, that's a great little connection I can make. But they're going to contradict it eventually when they do the Ms. Marvel Inhuman stuff. All those Inhumans you met, they will be recasted. And then you're going to say Agent Carter. They used Jarvis in the movie Avengers Endgame for 1 second. Yes, that's true. They did do that. But just because they did that one time, it does not make everything that Jeff Loeb has ever done canon. It's just a nice little nod.
Exactly. It's a nod. You can use your head canon. It is what it is. Like, I'm not a purist. I'm going to be like, well, technically, that's just not me. I'm just way too laid back for that, Yeah.
She died this time. Yeah, Hulk versus Wolverine. Damn right.
I'm more interested in Hulk versus Thing.
Okay. You think Doctor Strange in the Multiverse can set a soft reboot on the MCU? I wouldn't want a soft reboot because I don't want all the movies I've seen in the past to not matter anymore. They still have replay value so long as I can keep watching them. But do I think they'll do that? No, I don't even think they'll do that. No.
Yeah, he could though. That's the way I took the question.
He could. Lady Syff was on the ship that made it away from Thanos, but was later killed in the snap. She should be back now. Yeah, she should be back now. What do you think Venom 2 will be like? Don't answer that question because we give no attention to the Sony universe here on this channel. They're not canon, guys. They're not canon. But wait, so Agents isn't part of the MCU? They always crossed over when they crossed over with them.
But the movies didn't cross over with them.
Y'all not canon, man.
Yeah.
They tried though. It's like how Sony is trying to make it seem like the Spider-Man stuff is in their universe. That I want. You know what I want? I'm talking Sony now. You got me, Thomas. I want the Sony universe to do something like have a building explode or a bridge turn into dynamite, and then the next MCU movie, for no reason, the Marvel will just show that building is still there. It's not on fire. Nothing happened. There's no damage to this affected area. Just to let you guys know, this is not the same universe. As much as they will try. And then we go to the next question, which was 25. Who are better friends, Cap and Bucky, Tony and Rhodey?
Cap and Bucky.
That's an easy one. How about Sam and Bucky or Tony and Rhodey?
Tony and Rhodey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who looked the best de-aged? Sam Jackson.
You know something that happened in the who looked the best de-aged? Yeah. I actually think what's his name?
Phil Coulson?
Hank Pym.
Oh.
Yeah.
He did look the best de-aged. He did. Yeah. He did. And there was no scenes of him running either.
What was the most recent question? Can I see that again? There we go. With Tony and Rhodey. There was I read the last novel that was made for the movies that came out before the movies did was actually Iron Man 2. and there were three important scenes in there that didn't make it to the actual movie. One of them was when Nick Fury pulled Tony off of the donut on top of the building, when he was, drinking coffee off his hangover. He was like, your friend stole your stuff. We saw this in the movie. Your friend stole your stuff and blah, 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 blah. There's mention of the idea of, I thought that those brain scans were only made for you. In the book, it mentions those brain scans were only supposed to be attuned for you.
Mm-hmm.
So how was he able to get that? And Tony refused to answer. It was like way more pointed and direct, meaning that he made the suit cybernetically won't work, because this was actually something from the comic books. When everybody talks about demon in a bottle. I'm actually going to get into all that stuff. There's a reason why I'm wearing a gold colored shirt. Hopefully people get that hint when I'm doing my Spotlight on Story series. What do you call it? There was the original Demon in a Bottle by Bob Layton. He's the one who's mainly behind the story. And then much later on, I think it was Dane Michelini. I think it was Michelini who did it was like a much longer story where Tony was drinking again. He relapsed and blah, 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 whatever. And suddenly they had it so that Rhodey had to take the armor. And it was the original Mark V armor, the red and gold, the most famous, for the comic book readers, the most famous armor. And he started going out and saving people and doing stuff. But he started to go a little bit crazy. He started to get angry all the time. And they realized it was because the armor wasn't, the cybernetics weren't made for Rhodey. They were made for Tony. So he started to get sick from that. And actually, Dr. Druid had to fix, what's his name? Rhodey's mind, his brain waves, in order to be good again. And then he wound up getting his own armor. Yeah. The armor that was originally made for Rhodey was actually the Silver Centurion armor, the Mark VIII.
Did we see that in the movies? We did in
In
Iron Man 3.
Part 2. They actually kind of appeared in all three movies, but realistically, the time that it was used was at the racetrack in Iron Man 2.
Against Whiplash.
Yes.
Where's he? That's a question. Do you think they're going to have a long, drawn out origin movie for the F4? There's no more origins. Okay, let's answer that question. Whiplash. Oh, where is he?
They say. Oh, an extra question we thought of.
34 burning questions.
You know what? Maybe while he's appearing in the Shang-Chi movie and he's out there and he's got this big plan and whatnot to do all this crazy stuff, all of a sudden, what do you call it? Like he's about to win and the Mandarin's like, he's getting beaten up by Shang-Chi, but there's Justin Hammer and it's like his, the one guy who's just supposed to pose a distraction is posing another distraction. He's decided to take over. He's about to win. He's about to screw all of, these plans up and whatnot. And both these guys are going against him. And all of a sudden, like freaking, you know what I'm going to say, Whiplash shows up out of nowhere and it's just like, well, bang! This is for my bird, man.
Yes. I was gonna go there if you didn't. Yes. My bullet. Bring mutants from another universe or make a slow presentation of mutants. Yes, because we know the real life situations of why there weren't mutants. So anything that they do.
Is that the 69th time you said that? Anyway,
I will accept any way they do that just because I know the real life stuff. Aren't the Abomination and the Leader still in the MCU? Still are. What are they going to do with them? I don't know. But Thunderbolts for the Abomination.
Baby. Yeah.
To get a helicarrier from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Age of Ultron.
Excuse me. We can actually see both of them, especially the Leader, in the She-Hulk.
Yes. That's right.
Because the way that we've been speculating that the Red Hulk is going to show up is because he's going to show up at He's going to show up in the She-Hulk show, and he's still got that stupid machine.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And then we'll get a show called Thunderbolts that James Gunn pitched 4 years ago before Guardians.
100%.
And yes. Thunderbolts is similar to the Suicide Squad. You got villains doing.
And that's how you bring the Punisher back in.
Yes.
There you go. Have the Red Skull.
That's how you bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
The best de-aged. Oh, this is going back because we talk a lot. Was
Tarkin didn't look good in Rogue One, bro. Neither did Carrie Fisher. They
good
looked
enough for me.
terrible.
Oh, really? You didn't like the way that Princess Leia looked? I thought it was
It
surprisingly
would
accurate.
it was it was, but at the same time, I could still see the stuff around it. I mean,
Okay.
it wasn't great. Who would
I'm
say something like that? Yes, thumbs up the video, my peeps.
Thank you, people. New Rockstar's theory that Scarlet Witch goes crazy and snaps, screaming, more mutants. Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. You better not say it the other way, though. Pretender. We go to the next question, 27. Who's had the best mask? I'm going to go with Spider-Man because the moment we saw him and how his pupils went up and down, and it was like, ooh, Spider-Man's in here. But there's the Bucky mask. There's the Captain or Black Panther mask that kind of just digitalizes. There's Tony's, which always makes that sound effect when it closes, which is cool. Star-Lord. Spider-Man. You?
I'm going to go with Killmonger because the presentation was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
After the whole lead up where he's just like, and what do you think about this piece? Oh, this is from such. Actually, nah, this is actually from Wakanda. This is actually made of vibranium. And she's like, what? And he's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to take it off your hands. Yeah. Oh, that's against policy. Really? And how do you think your ancestors got a hold of this in the first place? You know what I'm saying? And then boom, 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 all that crazy stuff happened. Why'd you shoot him? Oh, scatter the thing. Yeah. It was like, and then he's like, hold on. He goes and grabs his mask.
You're not going to tell me that's vibranium too.
Yeah. He's just like, nah, I'm just really feeling it.
Yeah.
Boom! That's the one right there. That one is going to win.
That's how you pay homage.
Yes.
If the Power Rangers crossed into DC, what character from DC can you see versus them? I don't know. How do you measure the Power Rangers with superheroes?
Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Jamie Reyes, Blue Beetle.
When do you think we're going to see them as a major threat? Eternals.
The Eternals. Like, clearly, it's got to be the Eternals.
Yeah. Next question from this guy is, the best DH was Mark Hamill in The Rise of Skywalker. I happened to watch Rise of Skywalker illegally on like a whack stream. I know that's very anti-you, but I said...
It's anti-me, but it's not illegal to do that in Canada.
Should be. They got my money from episode 8, and it was a horrible movie. I wasn't going to give them my money for episode 9. However...
So this was your refund.
My refund. However...
Buy one, get one free.
If I watched episode 9 and I liked it, I would have watched it in the theaters. I didn't. And so if his de-age technology was good, I wouldn't have known Jalon. 27 question. Oh, Spider-Man and Iron Man? Yeah, I'm saying Spider-Man, yeah. And you're going to say Iron Man second place? Respect. Justice League did team up with the Power Rangers in a comic book.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 6-issue limited series. It was pretty good.
Do they play the Avengers theme too much? No.
No, I think they do it great. And they won't do it too long, doing short clips.
When they had Carol Danvers' ship and it said Avengers as her nickname, you could hear the Avengers theme, but it was only the beginning of it, and then they ended the movie. Which hero would make the evilest villain, Professor Bill? I have no idea what your answer is going to be.
Red Skull.
Which hero would make the evilest villain?
Oh. Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Great sarcasm on your point.
And I agree with that. He'd make the evilest villain. This guy was selling weapons for the longest.
Yeah.
Question 30. When is the next time we see Pepper Potts?
We don't need to see Gwyneth Paltrow over again. We're good. You
don't like her candles and everything she offers?
Or her vagina rocks?
That's. I'm going to answer the question. And if anyone wants to answer the question in the comments to make up for Bill's non-answer, you can. I think we'll see her again.
I think that we will too, and I'm pretty sure it could be a really good, appearance and whatnot. But like I said, I'm not a fan of Gwyneth Paltrow.
Ironheart. And we will get an Ironheart because Iron Man was so big. You put iron and something in front of a title, it'll sell.
That's actually a solid answer. Yeah, that's a really good answer. And you know what? I wouldn't. Whatever. I don't want to talk about them because they're just gonna look. Oh, they're just shoehorning it. But whatever. I could care less.
This is a good one because Pepper Potts was my answer to this question, which I asked myself 3 weeks ago. Who would make the best wife? MCU.
Pepper Potts, you think? always nagging him, yelling in his ear and stuff like that. Tony, you're up. You're not up there. Tell me you're not up there, Tony. Please just come home and be safe. I'm trying to save the entire world, possibly the universe. No, Tony, just come back here, and the universe will die around us, but we'll be okay. Just come back. No, sorry, not Pepper. Not happening. I think Scarlet Witch. Because
I think we'll see exactly why that's not the right answer in WandaVision.
Good point. But no, I think like I go by ride or die. You know what I'm saying? I need to have a girl who's going to be ride or die, and that's exactly what she'll be. All right. Plus, Vision's already dead. He's going to be dead in that movie. Like she brings him back, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But what do you go? No, for me, like I think that Wanda would be the ultimate ride or die. So yeah.
Dark Avengers coming to the MCU and how? Well, we need Norman Osborn first, so maybe we'll get the answer to that in the third Spider-Man.
Don't really need him. They could do it with other characters. They could do that with Justin Hammer.
Oh yeah, I'll take
There you go. It's a good question.
Yeah, it was a good question. Thank you for that one, Noel.
Was that the first Noel?
Noel.
The first Noel. There you go. Sorry. My bad.
Next mega event in the MCU will be like Infinity. Oh, that would have to be Avengers versus X-Men for me. What about you?
What do you personally want? What do you personally would want for the next mega event in the MCU? But do I want to see Secret Wars? Secret Wars. I don't need an Infinity Crusade. What was the one that I was saying? Oh, Kang. Just anything with Kang. They're gonna the Kree Skrull War, like along those ideas, and they could really just combine them both. You know.
Yeah.
But like to me, I think that it only makes sense that you've got Kang. Oh, and have a Kang and Lord Krang crossover. Just bring in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all right? But no, seriously, have Kang, and he's really pissed off at the heroes for screwing up the freaking timeline. This is how you also bring in the Fantastic Four, because he's related to Immortus, who's related to Nathaniel Richards. Like, hey, imagine that. So boom, that's what you do.
Black Widow as a wife. She can't have kids, which is why I dismissed her. We'll see her in infamous Iron Man.
I think that raises your stock with me. I don't want any more kids, man. I'm good.
Ironheart and 1,000 rabbit idiots hair because she's stealing Peter's connection to Tony. Oh God. Well, people have a problem with Peter's connection with Tony. Bobby.
Raven knows that would be my second guess or my second offer. Like I loves me some Mockingbird, but I can see Mockingbird, being more like, hold on, I don't agree with you, and be like, woman, what? Jessica Jones, the best wife. I'm sorry. On what planet? On what planet is Jessica Jones the best wife?
We got Storm. We got Jessica Jones, Mockingbird. None of these are in the MCU yet. That's why I can't consider them. But all of these are considered MCU questions, even if we go astray. But these are considered MCU. Dark Avengers versus X-Men, Osborn or Justin Hammer, yeah, versus Cyclops-led X-Men. That should be the next event. You're not going to hear complaints over here.
Nah, you got to bring them in first, and then you have an event with them. You can't bring them in as an event.
Yeah, you built up to it, yeah.
All right.
How does Thor keep getting shocked?
Oh, just because he is the god of thunder doesn't mean that he's immune to electricity.
I think that does mean that.
Circuits can fry.
We're talking about the God of Thunder. Keep your circuitry science stuff out of this when we talk about the Asgardian, chakra of the Odin race.
I hear you.
But there's your answer, science. And question 33 is, how do you introduce Riri Williams?
You just introduce her, dude. Literally, there's... Okay, the Eternals, they have their big thing, and the Deviants and all this other stuff, and like the Black Knight, he's the Jon Snow guy, whatever his real name is. I forget I know his real name. I can't remember right now. Probably remember it. Thank you. I was going to say, I'd probably remember it in the middle of talking about it, and you remembered it for me. That's even better. So freaking Kit Harington, who is freaking awesome, you know what I'm saying? And we were just talking about in the Discord before I was killing time before you brought me on, and they were like, hey, who would, if they're going to do Civil War 2, now that Tony's dead, you still got Carol, who would they replace? And I was like, you know what? Maybe Kit Harington is a really good actor. Have the Black Knight versus her. You know what I'm saying? Because when he loses or when he gets killed, like that's that great Jon Snow moment where it's like, holy crap, the women are going to love him. They're going to be pissed off at Carol, and like she's never going to be forgiven. You know what I'm saying? So like you could absolutely do something like that. Why not? But you moved the question, dude. You moved the question. What was the question?
How do you introduce Riri Williams?
Oh yeah. Okay. So after the whole Eternals event,
Yeah.
you suddenly realize that the world just doesn't have enough heroes. What are you going to get out of this as far as heroes? You're going to have Kit Harington as Black Knight, and you're going to have Cersei. Like these two. Okay, awesome, but what about the rest of the heroes? Where are all the other heroes? Everybody else is either dead or retired or moved on or whatever,
Mhm.
So you need more heroes. So what about if the end of the Eternals movie, suddenly there's this, like, literally at the end of the Eternals movie, you have like, a newscast goes out. Who will be the new heroes? Saying the next heroes to take up the place of the Avengers. And you just see a couple little characters here and there. Let's say you see, some guy working in a lab and he's got a lab coat on. And he just looks over and, he's trying to reach for, a beaker that's a little bit too far and his arm just stretches a little bit farther than it should. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you see a guy walking in a trench coat who's way too big than he should be, and he goes to open up a door handle and he's made out of rock, the hand. Maybe you've got, this little girl, this little black girl who's, sitting at a place with the big hair and she's just doing her thing, and then she puts together like this, you don't know exactly what she's working on, but then like the the arc welder and like psst, lights up and you just see like a portion of the Iron Heart armor.
Now, it's important to me that we don't show this woman's face, this girl's face, because I don't want to cast anyone so far, because when you do this for an end credit scene, then
I'm pretty sure that all of the things that I just showed had nothing to do with anybody's face. You see the back of Reed Richards, the hand of the thing, and just the side of the face of Riri's armor, not actually Riri. But you can do that with anybody. You could have, like there's Kamala, saying hanging out doing something and just, I don't know, she grows and she's got Reed Richards over there. It's not really going to work, but you don't want to have two stretchy people in the same thing. But yeah, you can have something like that. I think that there needs to be a call for heroes at the end of Eternals, because here's a huge threat that definitely the Avengers should have been there for, but the Avengers weren't there for it.
The Eternals. Or sorry, the Avengers. Which were we talking about? You said the Avengers weren't there for the threats, or the Eternals weren't there for
the Eternals aren't there for the event because there are the Avengers aren't there for the event because there are no Avengers anymore. Like there's Thor, but he's off doing his thing in Asgard. He didn't realize. Oh, he's not going to realize about the freaking Celestials. Whatever. They've got to have some kind of a reason why. Maybe his gym membership. He only had like a couple days left. He had to. All right, but like Tony Stark is dead. Tony Stank is dead. Freaking what's his name? Captain America's old now. You know what I'm saying? Like they got their own thing going.
Far From Home supports this when Peter starts asking about what about Avenger X, Y, and Z? What about these guys? And there was an answer that they were all busy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think
well, for the Celestials, that would be something else, right? But if they're just the looming threat, but the real direct threat there is actually the Deviants. And this is where we should get an origin for Thanos. They actually start talking about where Thanos actually came from and things like that. That would just be great. But the idea of whatever the threat is, as long as it's not necessarily the Celestials right now, just the idea of the Celestials is terrifying enough. But if it's just the Deviants and whatnot, it's like, let the newscast say, where were the Avengers? There are no Avengers. Who will be the next generation of heroes? That's how you introduce Riri. That's how you introduce everybody.
Exactly. I like it. And we get to meet the son of Lars. I mean, we get to meet Lars, Thanos' pops. That's what Red Skull called him. And I don't think they just do throwaway lines like that for no reason. You want to see the War of the Realms drag in Stromberg, but I think that any comic book we ever get, which would have been War of Realms 2019, it always takes like 8 or 9 years for the film to actually come out. If you look at Winter Soldier, 8 or 9 years later, we get the film. If you look at the Thor Love and Thunder thing, yeah, Jane Foster became Thor. But in 2022, we get that movie. There's always a gap of 8 years or so. Since War of Realms just came out, I don't think we'll get it soon. We got so much history to adapt before we can get to present comics, which means also we're probably not going to get Moira House of X stuff. We got, I answered my 33 questions, but there's so many things in chat. We're going to have to address them all now. Just want to see Dr. Doom stealing Galactus' powers and fight all the heroes. Good vibes. He's resistant, not immune. Who are we talking about here?
Thor, electricity.
Oh, yeah. See how long we've spoken to each other without referencing these comments. Thunder is not lightning. Yes, thunder is but the mere sound of the lightning. But they're so closely associated.
That's like saying that the sound of a capacitor popping is not electricity. If it comes from it, I mean, come on. the electrical burn is not actually electricity. Like, yeah, god of thunder. It's also the god of lightning. It's whatever. We usually understand that.
Peggy Carter, her and Cap would always be good. He'd be a great husband, her a great wife.
Yeah, and I think that my wife actually said the one time if she ever died, I was like, if you had to pick a wife for me before you died, who would it be? I think she did say it would be Agent Carter.
All right.
So yeah, that would work.
But you see how she went fictional, right?
I said fictional.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Of course you went fictional. Jeez. Real people come with problems.
We go to the next question. She's a classmate at Peter's school. Riri Williams is supposed to be 15, and Peter might just be done with school by the next time we see him. I know the actor is in his 20s.
Whatever, he goes back to teach.
Yeah. That's not what he means, but yeah, that works.
I see what you're saying, but you're changing it so that he's going to be an adult now, okay? But then boom, he goes back, and she doesn't have to be 15 in the MCU. Like that'd be harder to do anyway. So maybe he goes to college, and then she's a college classmate.
Yeah, and that's kind of my problem with comics right now. Is just that the characters don't ever age. So once we do these films. Yeah, Peter can age because we've got stories of him in his mid-20s right now. But when we get to Kamala Khan and we start going, okay, let's do a story that Kamala Khan did in the comic books. They'll look at the comics and they'll be like, they're all child stories. And meanwhile, we've had this character grow with us. We casted a 15-year-old, but now we got a 25-year-old. How do we do any Kamala Khan stories if she's still going to be a kid? The comic books need to age these characters, like the young characters.
No, come on, man. No, that's the movie's problem. You know what? Have the movies simply be smart. Don't make one stupid movie. Make like 6 movies in a row. It's like write 6 movies. Have them all be done right there. Have them fulfill their contract within 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And then just slowly release the movies when you want. And this way you're golden.
I think this period in time where they're canceling their filming because of the coronavirus, you really need to be ahead of these things and actually film everything rapidly.
At least get the writing down.
By the logic of Thor Ragnarok, Black Widow with her shock devices could beat Thor, and that is my problem with it.
Okay, let's rectify. Let's do headcanon and rectify this. Maybe you remember when in Thor 1, Odin took away his powers. He kept on getting shocked by the taser, because he was just a human at this point.
Yes.
Huh?
His powers were gone.
Yes, his powers were gone. But when he did get his powers back, maybe when he was there, he developed like some kind of a weakness. It's like he's not immune to tasers.
That's it. We're that's it. Answer. Undisputable. This guy says Kamala is 17 at this point, right? Oh, you're asking me. Sure, it's slow, lol. But yeah, she had like a summer vacation. She had a lot of time pass. She went to a new school and stuff. But yeah, it's whatever.
We've seen in comics in general, we don't really want to see them age. Here's the thing. People talk, but it's just like they say, we don't know what we want until we get it. And then we realize we didn't want it. And then it's like too late, because logically you can't just go back. Nah, man, don't age Peter. Don't age this. Don't age that. Don't do these things. You know what I'm saying? If the movies can't adapt, that's the movie's problems. That's one of the reasons why, again, I'm a huge Jim Shooter fan. And Shooter says this is one of the reasons why comics are the absolute best. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to age your character, so you shouldn't. You know that this works, so make it keep working. Why do you have to have something different? You know, you can make a new universe. You can do anything that you want in the comic books. You know, you have ultimate creative control in the comic books. If the movies have that problem, that's the movies' problems. Don't alter the comic books for the movies.
You think that there's going to be plenty of movies made. I'm sure the writers have a lot more time to write. Well, yeah, I guess the pre part of production, but the actual filming part, everyone's too afraid to actually congregate, which they shouldn't be if they're really smart. And this is $1 billion company. You just have people isolate themselves for 2 straight weeks in said place in Atlanta in that studio, and only allow people who have been isolated into that studio. You guys can do the project there, and no one else has it because you've all were alone and had no symptoms for the last 2 weeks. If you really take things that seriously, yes, you can do that. But everyone with their privacies and their rights and their, I don't want to give up my freedoms. Just do it for 2 weeks.
Dude, you're talking about indentured servitude because you're going to take these people. What about their families? You're going to take their families too?
They're already away from their families while they're filming these projects for 30 days.
So lock them down for 2 weeks and then start doing all this other stuff.
Okay, when I say lock them down, I just mean keep them away from other people.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but you know, as opposed to herd immunity, I get what you're saying. But like you're talking about, dude, and not being able to go home, not being able to do this and other thing.
Yes,
that's
to do this job that's gonna pay you a whole lot of money. That's what I'm suggesting.
Oh man.
But did I answer this one? Speaking of aging, is 5G still we don't talk about 5G. Maybe, who knows? Professor, do you like the Old Man Logan? The comic book, I guess.
Yeah, the original Old Man Logan I do like. And I like some of the things that Ed Brisson has done with the character. Yeah.
And that is 3,300 questions.
100 burning questions.
Thank you everyone for joining here for everything they had to say. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. If you didn't forget to thumbs up the video and you're just choosing not to thumbs up the video, you're
fie upon you. Fie, I say. Fie.
Fie. How do you spell fie? Is that like F-I-G-H?
F-I-E.
Lock down the entire filming cast. Wait, someone agrees with me. You can't see their families for months. And don't get paid anything near the actors. You'd have to get paid.
I don't think he agrees on you. I don't think he agrees with you, bud. I think he's making fun of you.
When a film is going to make $1 billion, you can dedicate $1 million to these people. Just cut it up 50 different ways and help them out. It'll be worth it. Give them 2 weeks of paid isolation. That works. You get 2 weeks.
I say you take this time to pay the writers to start writing a whole bunch of stuff, and then you've got this stuff written. If you actually trust what you're capable of doing, then you can make 2 movies in a row, 3 movies in a row, and release them at your leisure.
Yes. 'Twas fun, and we will see you all. That's the broadcast. Let's do it here. Professor Chill, Comic Book College, class dismissed. Oh, you didn't
suck.
I said let's do it. You're supposed to synchronize with our outro. Come on.
Synchronize something that you're making up on the fly?
I told you. Okay.
You told me what?
I told you we're gonna do it. Let's do it here. You knew what I was gonna say. You knew class dismissed was the goal. Was the ending. That's how we end our podcast.
I was shocked by what you were saying. I'm like, is this copyright infringement?
Well, you're right. It was copyright infringement, but it's not if you say it. So we'll let you do it.
But it's not Comic Book University.
I guess we're not doing it, guys. And broadcast. Let me see.